Here you are on a basic port scan only to realize you still have no idea what software the target is actually running. Well, in this video we are actually taking our Nmap skill to the next level with advanced service and version detection. First of all, I'm gonna show you how to use the S reflect to force a target to exactly reveal what software it's running, no matter what port it's hiding on. And next I'll show you how to control the intensity of the scan, so which will allow you to choose between being completely stealthy or highly aggressive. And lastly, I will map out the network routing using Traceroute so you can see every hop between you and the target. So without any further delay, let's get started. Okay, before we do anything, I want to tell you something. In the last videos we have talked about what are ports and what are how we can find out ports and what are the different types of nmap scan through which we can do the port scanning. Now if we zoom out and look at what we have learned so far, we have just learned port scanning, whether the port is open or closed. We learn all about this, but it is important it is necessary information, but it is not sufficient information. Just a normal an open port can tell us that there is something listening, but it does not tell us that what that something specific is listening on that specific port. So there is a gap. We know that the port is open, something is listening, but we don't know what is listening and what kind of service and what its origin. So without that information, it is a bit difficult. We cannot even assume that by our own. We have to figure out. Otherwise, we are just blindly assuming that this service might be running with this specific version. We cannot do that. So to fix that gap, to complete this gap, what we do is we learn about the service detection. This helps us in finding out what specific service is listening on that open port, and it might also tell us the specific version of that, and through which we can then move forward and take next step. For example, over here you can see port 80 might have Apache this specific version, a version, this is some version from 2016. Okay, and let's say we do the service detection and we figure out that port 80 is open, and on port 80 this specific service is running with this specific version. Now we got this information. What we can do next is we can then go to Google and find out, figure out that what any vulnerability that exists for this specific service with this specific version. Since it's older version, so probably it might have lots of vulnerability. So what we can do is look for the vulnerability, check out which one is easiest, and we can get highest level privileges through it. So we will then learn about that CVE and then try to exploit that service and get into the internal systems. So without that service detection, we will have never learned about that. Yeah, Apache, this specific version is running. So that is why service detection is very important. I hope you get the idea. Another most important thing over here I want you to clear, you might be confused at, let's say ports number are kind of assigned and specifically top 1000 ports to specific services. For example, port 22 is for the SSH, but an administrator can, over here you can see that administrators sometimes run the services on non-standard port to reduce the automated scanner noise. It's a technique called the security through obscurity. I mean, it doesn't mean that nobody will find out that service and that port, but the thing is that we assume that yeah, port 22 is open, so it's for SSH. If it's closed, we will just assume that the SSH is not there, it's the service is not listening and the port is closed. But with service detection we can figure out that yeah, it can whatever port we specify. Let's say we specify all of the total number of ports in our scan in service detection, and it will then look for all of the ports. Okay, and wherever on whichever port the SSH service is running, it will then look for that and tell us that yeah, SSH is running on this port. So it is not like it will be hidden, but yeah, makes it a bit unobvious to the scanners, right? So above over here we talk about the we find out, assuming we find out port 80 and the specific version. What we do actually is that, or this is the full workflow of it. but it is open service is HTTP and its specific version is this. So we learned this from the hyphen HV. This is the flags we use for doing the service detection. Okay, so we got this, we then search for this, and it has these two or many other, it might have many other the CVEs, right? So we can download that and run the exploit on that to exploit that, right? So without the step 2 it will be harder. We will just check over here that what is the service and what is the specific version. So let's talk about now, this is how you can do the service detection. You use the Nmap, okay? And another point is that it actually uses the complete three-way handshake. It is not stealth. If you are assuming that it will, this type of scan will be stealth, no, it doesn't, because it creates completes the three-way handshake and then it connects and sends some packets to the application and to the service and carefully assume the Nmap that what kind of, it checks for the pattern and based on that it tells gives us the report. Okay, so Nmap, we type first of all Nmap and then the hyphen small s and then v. Okay, so this means service detection, and then we specify the target and then it will run the scan and based on that it will tell you. And one another most important thing is, not, it is not must that all of the services will tell you that yeah, I this is the specific version I am running. Sometimes it doesn't tell you all of the detail, but it might help you. And sometimes some of the service might mention their specific version. Okay, so keep that in mind. This is how the result actually looks like. Don't worry, I'm gonna do the practical as well just in a moment, just telling you how the output look like. So you do this scan, you start this scan, and you might get whatever ports are open. You might see their uh, port number, their state, which if the port is open you will see open, and in service name, and then the version. Okay, you can see right here for this the overall, you can see the its version and everything about it. Same is the case for this one, but you only see the service name for the specific service, right? You don't see any version. So that is why I told you that sometime not all of these services contain information in their banners. I'm gonna explain also what banner is so you understand what it means. But you know, not all of the services contain much information in their banners. Another thing over here, you can see that we have the version intensity. It means how aggressively the Nmap try to check out the version of the services. Like we have the numbers from which start from 0, and 0 mean the lightest. It tries the lowest, it tries its lowest, and the highest we have is the 9. So means it, if we specify the 0, it means it doesn't try that much. But if we specify the 9, it means it will try its harder, and maybe will try its harder to figure out the service and its version. Okay, for example, if you want to just do it lightly, not very aggressively, what you're gonna do is type the nmap as we talk about, as same we have discussed, yeah. And then you will have to specify the hyphen version hyphen light, means it will do the lightly version detection, right? And specify the target, it's the fastest. Another one we have is the intensity 9. It will actually do the scanning more aggressively. All you have to do is, instead of the hyphen light, you will just do the hyphen r, and nmap will try its best to figure out the service and its version. Though it will take more time, it will be slowest because it's trying more harder than this one. So this is the fastest, it will take less time, and this will take more time, right? So over here I am my Kali machine, and what we're gonna do is we'll actually do the scanning, that whatever we studied we will do it now practical. Okay, so I'm gonna type the nmap sv and then specify the target. This is the target we will be scanning. Okay, so it will tell us all of the services version. It might not do all tell us all of the version, but yeah. And once we get the result of this, and we will also do the intensity, how aggressively it figures out the services. Okay, so I think we are done with this result. We have got the report, and if you look at this on port 22 TCP port, it's the service SSH, and we have actually got the full, this is the protocol version, the SSH protocol 2.0 version. and this is the open SSH version. This, and or all we can just get the this information, go to the exploit database, Google, or some AI tell that what exploit or CV exists for this specific version for the SSH. Okay, same is the case for SMTP. This one as well, the HTTP, it run this Nginx server, and this is the version, right? And this the other one as well, so you can see the version. Now what I'm gonna do is let's do the specify the version intensity. Okay, so let's do this, wait for the result what we will get now. And the another one will take much time, so I'm not gonna do that. Well, just try it yourself. I'm just gonna show you how you can do the specify the version intensity as well. So once we get the result, we'll then specify find figure out what this is. And yeah, so look at this. The scan is done and we have got the report over here. You can see it just did the light scan, and if you look at this, it didn't try much harder to figure out the services for this one. Normal, if you look at the above one, it also tell us something a bit more information than this one, because the intensity for the default is 7, so it tried a bit harder than this one, so that is why we are seeing this. So hope you get idea about how the service detection work. Another thing I just want to tell you quickly is that the trace route, you might already know about this. We have this in Windows, like we type the trace rt and specify our target, and then what it tells us, it basically tells us the package that we send from our machine to that specific target. What are the different, like in the middle, what are the routers, what are the ways it passes by, what are the service. So the trace route actually identify each router hop and along the path, and it just tells us that yeah, these are these specific hops that these packets go through to reach to the target. So this is what the trace route tell us. It was a separate tool, and now Nmap also has its own trace route. Like we can specify Nmap and the hyphen trace route. Whatever scan type we are doing, we can add the trace route, and it will also tell us that the full path of the packet that move from our machine to the target machine, how it reached. So hope you get the idea, and I guess that's pretty much it. If you have any question in any of these, let me know in the comments. And in the next video we will be talking about what is banner and what is the how we can do the operating system detection. The way we did the service detection, we will also learn about this operating system detection. And third, we will learn about one more scan type which kind of do these all of the service detection, the operating system detection, this trace route, and the one more type of scan together. So it is slower one, but it is a better and more reliable one. So I will see you in the next video. See you soon.